Hello guys, welcome back to Envision Academy. In this video, I'll be sharing facts about Phad paintings of Rajasthan. Changed in traditions and history, India's varied folk art forms have narrated stories for centuries through vibrant visual representations. And while each one is culturally significant, Phad painting of Rajasthan particularly stands out for its unique history, origin, and the efforts put into its revival. A 700-year-old legacy passed down over generations within a single family. Phad paint finds its origins in Shahpura near Bhilwara, Rajasthan. Phad is a type of scroll painting that narrates elaborate religious stories of local deities and gods. Created as traveling or mobile temples, these traditional paintings were carried by priests, singers of the Raberi tribe called Bhopas and Bhopis, who would sing and perform stories of their local deities Devnarayanji, a reincarnation of Vishnu, and Pabuji, a local hero. The Phad paintings would be unrolled or unfolded after sunset, and the performance in front of village members would last into the night. This is perhaps why the paintings are called Phad, which means fold in the local dialect. While the male priest, that is the Bhopa, would sing and narrate the story depicted in the Phad painting, his wife Bhopi would accompany through song and dance, while also putting a spotlight on the corresponding sections in the painting. Using a lamp, a two-string instrument called the Ravanhatta would be used in the performance. What adds to the uniqueness of Phad art is that historically it was only members of the Joshi family belonging to the Chipa caste that created these paintings. The Bhopas would commission the Joshis to make a Phad to use in their performances. The traditional paintings used to be large, with Pabuji ki Phad or Phad paintings of Pabuji being 13 arm-length long and those of Devnarayan being nearly 30 feet long. Today, while the storytelling traditions of the Bhopa is still alive in some villages, the significance of Phad paintings has moved much beyond, with efforts and made by several members of the Joshi family, including Sri Lal Joshi, Nand Kishore Joshi, Shantilal Joshi, Kalyan Joshi, Gopal Joshi, Prakash Joshi, and Vijay Joshi, to increase appreciation for Phad as an art form. Phad artists need to be extremely skilled, adhering to techniques taught by ancestors. Depending on the complexity, it can take between a few weeks to a few months to complete an artwork. Phad paintings are created on hand-woven coarse cotton cloth, which is soaked in overnight to thicken the threads. It is then stiffened with starch from rice or wheat flour, stretched, dried in the sun, and rubbed with a moonstone and to smoothen the surface and give it a sheen. The entire process of making a Phad painting is completely natural, with the use of natural fibers and natural paints sourced from stones, flowers, plants, and herbs. The paintings are handmade by the artist and mixed with gum and water before applying to the cloth. Typical colors seen in a Phad painting are yellow, orange, green, brown, red, blue, and black. Each color is used for specific purposes. Yellow for creating the initial outline and then ornaments and clothing, orange for leaves and the torso, green for trees and vegetation, brown for architectural structures, red for royal clothing and flags, as well as a thick border, and blue for water or curtains. Black is applied at the end as outlines. The most important detail in the paintings is added in the last. the eyes. Once the main deity's eyes are painted, the artwork comes alive and is ready for worship. After these, the artist cannot sit on the artwork. The artist signs the artwork close to the image of the main deity, which is the typical placed in the center of the painting. While figures are harmoniously distributed throughout the canvas in a Phad painting, the scale of each figure is determined by their social status and the role they play in the story that is being narrated. A unique aspect of Phad painting is that the construction of the figures is flat and they all face each other instead of facing the audience of the painting. The entire process of creating a Phad painting is steeped in rituals and traditions. In the olden days, the first brush stroke was made by a virgin girl from the artist family, following which the painter divided the canvas into various sections. According to the parts of the story being depicted, the techniques of Phad paintings were only taught to those who would remain in the Joshi family, not to those who would leave it. So, while daughters were not taught the art, daughters-in-law who became part of the family were. Since the tradition of Phad art was so closely guarded, it was natural for the art form to face the threat of fading away. With a desire to preserve the revive the art form, Sri Lal Joshi, a renowned Phad painter and Padma Shri awardee, challenged all the orthodox ideas associated with the Phad tradition and decided to set up Joshi Kala Kunj in Bhilwara, Rajasthan in 1960, a school where artists from outside the Joshi family were taught the art of Phad. Under the patronage of his sons Gopal and Kalyan Joshi, this revival effort expanded with the rebranding of the school to Chitrashala in 1990. Over the years, more than 3,000 artists have been trained at Chitrashala. Similar efforts were also made by other members of the extended Joshi family. Not only did all these revival efforts focus on preserving the art form, but also the painstaking processes of making natural paints and following traditions techniques. Since the very core of Phad painting was storytelling, Kalyanji Joshi started depicting characters beside Devnaranji and Pabuji in Phad paintings. Stories and characters from Ramayana, Mahabharata, Hanuman Chalisa, and even the Panchatantra were introduced, making the paintings more appealing to a larger audience. Artists from the Chitrashala started adding their own unique style to the tradition and were encouraged to do so. Keeping up with the demands and limitations of space in modern homes, the size of Phad painting was reduced significantly and today they are made as small as 2, 4 or 6 feet. Since the original painting consisted of several individual stories or episodes that made up the entire tale. Kalyan Joshi sparked the innovation of painting, just one of the many stories in smaller Phad paintings. He also introduced written text in the artworks, which wasn't seen in traditional Phad paintings. Attempts by different members of the Joshi family as well as other renowned Phad artists such as Pradeep Mukherjee have helped sustain and revive this incredible art form to some extent, enhancing its commercial value and generating employment for Phad artists. But despite these efforts, there are less than 20 artists who practice the art of Phad painting full-time today. In the modern world, there is a need to promote such rich artistic traditions from the past. Their visual appeal aside, art forms like Phad preserve folklore and stories that have traveled through centuries and reflect India's glorious culture. So, thank you guys for watching my videos. Please keep an eye on my channel and stay with me for the future videos. Please click the bell icon to subscribe to my channel and shower your love and support. Thank you.